Alright guys, what's going on? My name is Christian and welcome to another video. Before I get started, as always, please do hit that like button. You guys know it means so much to me, and if we can hit 3 likes, that would be absolutely incredible. I wouldn't even know how to react if we hit 3 likes. I don't know, it would just be totally insane. So smack that like button, leave a comment, as I just love reading each and every comment. So anyway, today's story happens about the beginning of my junior year, so somewhere in there. And the reason I'm actually doing this one is because you guys really liked my other story, the other day about fingering a girl. It did really well. I got tons of feedback and likes, and I was like, oh wow, okay, so I'm gonna do another one. And this one is actually a story about the time I fingered a girl at school. And this is probably one of my more crazier stories, one that I honestly didn't think I'd ever tell on YouTube, because I was a bit, kind of cautious at first, but now it's just like, what the hell, let's do it. You guys love them, and I'm gonna tell them. So anyway, I was dating a girl at this point. I want to say we were dating maybe like 3 months or something. I don't even remember. And remember that this was only like months after I had, fingered a girl for the first time, obviously, because I believe that other one happened at the end of my sophomore year, going into that summer. And so I was kind of new to it, but I was dating this girl. And we had about, I want to say 4 classes every day together. We'd hang out in every class, obviously sit by each other in every class. And let me just say, having classes with girlfriends is not a good idea, because when you break up, it's just really awkward to be in the same room as them. So just a little note for you guys. But anyway, on this particular day, she was looking really cute. I was like, damn, girl. She was wearing her short shorts because, I don't know, I guess she was wearing short shorts, which to me, I don't know, that's kind of weird to wear short shorts to school, but, I didn't really care. I didn't think this girl was too slutty. I mean, we only dated, literally a total of 3 months. I couldn't even tell you when this exact event happened. But yeah, like I said, for me, whenever I date a girl, I don't really ask about what they've done, because if I do, then it kind of messes with my head if they have done stuff. So for me, I just don't even ask. I just, leave that out. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, on this particular day, during lunch, obviously we would sit together, and after we would eat, we would go to this bleacher that wasn't the main bleacher, but the one behind it, kind of, because they would stack against each other, and teachers couldn't really see you back there. And so we'd always go back there and, kind of hold hands and, kiss, and sometimes even make out. And it wasn't really a high-risk thing, just because if a teacher did walk in or anything, or saw us, she'd just be like, hey, you guys need to get out, kind of get off those bleachers. We just weren't allowed to, just because it was really hard to be monitored by teachers. But, so that's why we did it. It was, private, and there was sometimes other kids back there, but on this particular day, there wasn't. So with this girl, we had done a lot of stuff. We had pretty much done everything except sex at this point, I want to say. And, we were just super comfortable with each other. And like I said, we were just making out on the bleachers after lunch, which I don't know why this is what I remember, but I remember that her breath wasn't that great because of whatever she ate at lunch. Making out after lunch just isn't a good idea, but, I didn't care. I was kissing a girl, so it was whatever. And, we would obviously get kind of touchy-feely. I'd grab her ass a little bit, maybe a hand on the boob, and, she'd kind of grope me a little bit. You know how it goes. And it was good. We enjoyed. And on this particular day, she was just super turned on. With this girl, I could always tell. She would randomly pull back and just kind of make this face when we were doing it, and just making out. And I could just always tell when she was horny. And on this occasion, she was definitely horny. And she's like, you should finger me. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that right here. The most I will do here is make out. And she's like, no, please. What if we go into the girls' locker room? There's not even a PE class after lunch. No one's in there. I promise it'll be okay. And I'm like, I'm sorry, there's no way. If we got caught or anything. And I knew in the boys' locker room, at least, there was guys that would change, into clothes, because, they would have a PE class later on in the day, and they didn't want to change when the rest of the people were in there. So I was like, no, there's no way I do this. And she was like, come on, let's just do it. I will give you a hand job if you do. And I'm like, okay, all right, fine, I'll do it. And so we ended up going in there. She went in first. And about 5 minutes later, I wouldn't even say like 5 minutes, like 2 minutes later maybe, I kind of make sure the coast is clear because the girls' locker room was pretty out of sight. So, you know, it was easy for me to get there. And so I went inside and, you know, she was kind of just sitting on this thing. And there's two parts to this locker room. This was a really big locker room. There was one side and then it was, you know, the middle was parted by a bunch of lockers. There was lockers all around the outside of the room. I hope I'm giving you a good picture. And, you know, we just start making out and I go straight for it, right? Like I'm fingering her and I'm just going really hard. And then I just kind of stop and I'm like, hey, do you hear that? And then we listen and one of the showers was on. And I was like, no, go check that out right now. And so I'm like ready to just like bolt out of this locker room. And then she kind of goes back there and she's like, there's a girl back there and she's, you know, showering because apparently there was a PE class before and we would always get done eating really quickly, you know, and then kind of go to like make out and do stuff. And then I was freaking out because I'm like, I'm not going to be in here while this person's there. And she's like, all right, why don't we just go to the bathrooms, which the bathrooms were like when you first came in. So even if she was there, you know, it would be hard to see us. And I was like, I don't know, like that's crazy because she was like just super turned on. And so we went to the bathroom. I sat on the toilet, right? And I had, you know, I obviously still had my shorts on. And then she kind of gets on top of me and just starts making out. And I'm like, be quiet, be quiet. And then, you know, obviously I start going for it again. And it's lucky because the bathrooms were behind a wall. So it was actually like if this girl had walked by, she wouldn't have seen it. And the shower eventually did turn off, but like I wasn't really paying attention, but she just said like, shh, be quiet. And of course I just kept going at it, right? Like I was still fingering her and everything and we were still kissing, but you know, trying to be quiet, which when you're like going this hard, it's honestly really difficult to be quiet. But we did. And she ended up finishing and I was like, okay, are you done? And she's like, yeah. But then when we were pretty much done, like I looked on my phone and we had maybe like 5 minutes left, I want to say. And plus not only this, but we're waiting for this girl to get out of this locker room. But she eventually gets out of there. And about a minute later, she goes out first and then texts me that it's clear. And then right as I get out, like 30 seconds later, the bell rang. And so it was just really good timing. You know, it all went well, but it could have gone really badly. I never really, okay, there's a crazy story that I also did at school, but I'm going to save that for a special occasion because that one was just super crazy. But this was probably, I'd say, like the second craziest thing that's happened to me at school or I've done at school. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed, like I said, hit that like button. No, not 3 goals, but 3 likes is the goal today. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you later. Peace.